Yolan Trun, welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy, and today we're going to expose one of the biggest illusions in Star Trek Fleet Command. You see that shiny, impressive number on the top left of the screen? Your fleet power? Yeah, that one. Um, how do I put it nicely? Well, it lies. It looks good, and it at least, yeah, if I say it lies, it at least doesn't tell you the whole story about it. Because, all the rankings and everything, which looks nice. But you still will have wondered, why did a lower level player smack my ship around in PvP? Why could your 3 million ship not kill a 2.2 million one? And that's why I want to talk about fleet power versus real power in this video. And first, let's talk about this. The fleet power is the sum of your ship's stats, in this case, the ships in the docks. That's why it changes. And their hull strength, shield, equipment upgrades, and everything. It's a number, and it looks good on paper, but it also makes you feel powerful if you're good in the ranking and everything. But fleet power does not factor in the stuff that actually wins the battles if you go into one. Because the number up there doesn't consider your crew, it doesn't consider the ship abilities, the officer synergy, the bonuses from research, of course your combat strategy, and whether it's the right ship to pick for that fight you're going into. So that's the point why this is really just a number and not a strategy, and not a guarantee for anything. But we need to talk about what matters. What matters is that you don't have some crap crew on the ship. With the crew I have on my Koskari at the moment, looks impressive with 8.1 billion power here with the Janeway crew that I've shown you recently in the video for the Augment Exile hostiles. If I go with that crew to a PvP fight, that wouldn't go out very easily. And then for a long time, in many cases, the combat triangle will play a role. Do you really want to go against an explorer with an interceptor? Or later on with an explorer against a Borg cube? That isn't the widest match. So my Koskari already has a built-in disadvantage against Borg cubes because it's an explorer. And you need to understand all the game mechanics here. Not only the combat triangle, but also your research boosts, your officer levels and the traits here. That's why we have talked so much about PvP crews and why I made videos about PvP crews for certain ships, for example. But the officer levels also count. We talked about this with the PvP mirror crew. I'm still working hard on mirror data, for example, because the mirror crew is only really good with the tier 5 data. And so I don't have that yet, so my mirror crew is not any good for anything. So I'm still doing much better with different crews. And that is another point there. And of course, do you attack first? Does the other one attack first? Because if you attack first, you might even consider using Cloak, which gives you a bonus here. And so the numbers are not always what counts. I've been beaten by ships that were lower than mine. That was especially the case with the case of in case of Forbidden Tech and Chaos Tech. For quite some time, I was beaten by much weaker ships on paper because they had a Tantalus device. So a Tantalus device and a Q cannon, for example, as Chaos Tech with it, can make a major difference and can beat much bigger ships. So there are a lot of different things you really need to talk about. So don't rely on the numbers. And even don't rely on when Scopely tells you something. Because, when I just go there where one of my ships is at the moment. If they're hostiles, you see this on the top right. It tells me here that fight would be a normal fight, or would be easy, or would be hard. And this is just, yeah, kind of going by the numbers that you see, but it does not calculate in all your advantages. I have hostiles on hard that I'm hunting that don't even very much scratch my hull paint because of the crew I'm using there. And so don't rely on that just by the calculation of the numbers. Really make sure that whatever you do, you have the right crew, you have the right forbidden tech, you have the right chaos tech, and that you, if you can, for example, if you have to beat someone stronger, not on paper, but in reality, try to use cloak as well as you have it. So all of this plays into it. And don't just look at their offices. If you look in the battle protocols, you even can see the levels that you're dealing with and why they have beaten you. And the battle protocols are here quite important to see, is your number really something, yeah, that comes close to what you think that power number that you see is. And that's why I quickly wanted to talk about this topic today, because just don't rely on these numbers. Really make sure you are really equipped for the job that you're going to do. Numbers are very often very distracting here in this game, so don't rely on them all the time. And that's already it, and I would really like to know your opinion about it. And so please write in the comments below the video and on Discord. And if you want to see another video right now, the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.